This is Channel 25 WVTT Olean. Now, from the Twin Tiers' biggest broadcast news operation, this is the 6 o'clock report with Jeff Andrulonis and Alexa Olson. Listen on News Radio 96.7 WVTT or watch on News Channel 25 WVTT television. WVTT proudly presents the 6 o'clock report.
Good evening, I'm Alexa Olson.
And I'm Jeff Andrulonis. Good evening. The big story tonight on the 6 o'clock report. Jubilation on Wall Street today. The nation averts the fiscal cliff. Both the House and the Senate have passed legislation preventing automatic tax increases that would have taken effect on New Year's Day. For the latest, let's join CNN's Martha Shade.
On this vote, the yeas are 257. The nays are 167. The motion is adopted.
The House approved the measure passed earlier in the day by the Senate. It raises taxes on individuals earning more than $400,000 a year and couples earning more than $450,000 a year. It also extends unemployment benefits. Spending cuts will not be addressed for 2 months, which was a disappointment for many Republicans.
The Senate and the President and the Vice President failed to meet their obligation, their own stated obligation, which was to bring us a balanced bill, one that had tax adjustment, yes, but also had spending cuts. This one fails at that and fails badly.
President Obama praised lawmakers for reaching an agreement that protects the middle class.
Thanks to the votes of Democrats and Republicans in Congress, I will sign a law that raises taxes on the wealthiest 2% of Americans, while preventing a middle-class tax hike that could have sent the economy back into recession and obviously had a severe impact on families all across America.
But middle-class Americans will still take a financial hit in 2013. They won't pay higher income taxes, but they will have to pay at least 2% more in payroll taxes. That means most of the country's 160 million workers will see smaller paychecks this year. I'm Martha Shade reporting.
WVTT also wanted to get a local perspective on the fiscal cliff. We talked to Olean Mayor Linda Witt, who tells us she's disappointed with the amount of time it took lawmakers to reach an agreement on fiscal cliff legislation.
I think it's sad that they waited to the last minute. I think it's all politics. But I think that the worst part is it makes our stock market unsettled. But it also puts a burden on people. They can't plan ahead because within the next week or so, I think it's Thursday, the new Congress comes in. Within the next 2 months, we're going to be to the debt ceiling.
Now, Witt also tells us she doesn't think the fiscal cliff legislation will have a lot of impact on the city on a local level, but it could impact some shoppers' wallets.
We don't receive very little federal funding. The only thing we receive federal funding on is our bus service for busing. But other than that, no. I think we might see it in retail sales. People might kind of hold back on spending, which would impact us with our our sales tax revenue. But locally, I think we'll be okay. I think, like I said, some federal projects maybe, but we don't have any of those at this moment.
Now, Congressman Tom Reed also weighed in on the issue via telephone. Take a listen.
I am glad to see that we did take care of the fiscal cliff. We averted it, and we made sure that the 99% of Americans, they're not going to be saddled with that tax increase coming down the pipeline.
Tom Reed not only spoke with WVTT about the fiscal cliff, Jeff, but also about the vote for Hurricane Sandy relief.
There was some concern that what they were looking at is kind of the status quo, because to get through the Senate, they had to add up some additional provisions that went beyond money and aid to those impacted by the Hurricane Sandy situation.
And one governor was not too happy with Congress. He voiced his opinion.
New Jerseyans and New Yorkers are tired of being treated like second-class citizens. New York deserves better than the selfishness we saw on display last night. New Jersey deserves better than the duplicity we saw on display last night. America deserves better than just another example of a government that has forgotten who they are there to serve and why.
Firefighters across the Empire State came together to mourn one of their own over the weekend. Thousands came to pay their respects to 43-year-old Lieutenant Michael Ciparini, killed in Webster, New York, along with fellow firefighter Thomas Kazukawa on Christmas Eve by alleged gunman William Spangler. Now, police believe Spangler killed his sister before setting their house on fire and then shooting 4 first responders. The 2 firefighters who survived remain hospitalized with their wounds.
Olean's Common Council will elect their president tonight. Council will hold its reorganization meeting and city aldermen will cast their vote for council president. Last year's council president, Alderman Jim Brady, he says he's not interested in running for council president this year. Jeff.
Alexa, getting into an accident isn't the way most Twin Tiers residents want to ring in the new year. Some Twin Tiers residents are hearing ringing as their insurance companies call. New York State Police report accidents in Hinsdale, Bolivar, Scioto, Angelica, Rushford, and Farmersville over the weekend. New York State Police say an 18-year-old Bolivar woman was injured in a crash near Hinsdale Friday morning. They also report a crash in Bolivar Friday morning. Police say 50-year-old Terry Evingham wasn't injured in that crash on North Main Street. Meanwhile, no further details, but it looks like damages are minor in a fire in Bradford. Firefighters rolled to 30 Rochester Street for a fire in an electrical panel. Residents were evacuated. No further details available tonight.
And Jeff, Potter County commissioners are striking a deal to house female prisoners in nearby Elk County. The deal costs about $55 a day, and it doesn't include medical or transportation expenses. Officials say that the Potter County Jail does not have facilities for women, and the number of incarcerated women has actually increased dramatically in the past several years. Potter County also has arrangements with Tioga, Clinton, and Jefferson counties for housing female inmates.
Wegmans says it's freezing the prices of 53 seasonal items until April 6th. Now, those price freezes are mostly limited to Wegmans brand products. The items include meat, seafood, produce, dairy, grocery, bakery, frozen foods, and deli items that Wegmans says are popular during the winter months. You can find out more by visiting their website, wegmans.com.
Niagara County schools were in lockdown today after a robbery at a Newfound's Bank of America. Authorities are still looking for the suspect right now. They say the lockdown is merely a precaution. They haven't reserved threats against the school. Witnesses describe the robber as a light-skinned black male in his 30s with a black beanie and leather jacket. If you know this man or have seen him around, contact local police.
A New York City woman is being charged with petty larceny tonight after stealing a case of beer from a convenience store in Amity, New York. New York State Police in Amity arrested 27-year-old Kelly Gallman after receiving a report of stolen goods from Crosby's Mini Mart on Route 19. Gallman was released on an appearance ticket.
And Jeff, what it seems everyone is talking about tonight, the Buffalo Bills head coach Chan Gailey has been fired after missing the playoffs for the 3rd year in a row. WVTT's Valerie Tysander is live with us from Buffalo via Skype tonight.
The Buffalo Bills are doing a little New Year's cleaning. A couple days ago, head coach Chan Gailey was told that he would be dismissed. The team is looking for new potential head coaches. Among the top contenders is Syracuse University head coach Doug Marrone, and the other is Arizona Cardinals head coach Ken Whisenhunt. Doug Marrone will have an interview with the team next week, and the reason that Chan Gailey is being let go is because, quote, they weren't winning enough. In Buffalo, I'm Valerie Tysander, WVTT News.
Thanks so much, Valerie. Coming up here on Twin Tiers Evening News, our WVTT Wall Street wrap-up, also the global news update, and our first look at a chilly forecast straight ahead. You stick around. This is News Channel 25 WVTT.